Good morning, hello, and welcome to KTN News. We want to take a look at what is on the news center at this hour. It's fairly 10 a.m. My name is Anki Doris Umbat, and all eyes are now in Bungoma County. We are looking at the Madaraka Day on the 1st of June this Saturday, and Bungoma County is upbeat about hosting this year's Madaraka Day celebrations, and the fate comes with goodies. However, being a border county, it has witnessed challenges such as trafficking of contraband goods and illicit brew. What measures has the government employed to address these issues? Well, Alan Ochanda had a sit-down interview with Interior PS Dr. Raymond Omollo earlier on. Let's take a look.
And being here, there were key leaders and the ranking members in the security dockets. You are here as an advanced team of the president, and we are looking at the security situation here, maybe in Bungoma and Western region at large. What are some of the key security challenges here, maybe according to your data?
So first of all, good morning, and thank you for having created time for us to have a conversation. As we are all aware, Bungoma will be hosting the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations tomorrow. And we have done quite a lot of work as part of preparations for that. But just back to your question on the issues around the security situation in Bungoma, is that one, Bungoma is like the rest of the country. And across the country, we continue to have several challenges with security. But overall, we have a much stable situation. The security situation of the country is on firm ground on account of the commitment that our officers continue to undertake on the ground, but also the support from the local communities across the country. And particularly in the case of Bungoma, we haven't had a lot of incidents or challenges on security. Of course, there would always be isolated cases. And one of the major concerns or security challenges in Bungoma County, which is part of Western region, are issues around gender-based violence. Of course, there is also the movement of contraband, given that Bungoma is on the transit to Uganda. So there's a lot of movement of goods across the borders, which to an extent is porous. Yes.
Security is normally addressed at the base of the pyramid and the basic administrative units, but in the previous administration, it was the basic administrative units were never operationalized in Bungoma. What is the status of the operationalization of these administrative units in this current administration? So,
in terms of our operations as a government, is that we have several layers of administrative unit, starting from the national, which is functionally being managed from Nairobi. Then you come to the region. In this case, you have Western region, and then you have the counties, and in the case of Bungoma, you have sub-counties below the counties, and then you have the divisions, you have the locations, and subsequently the sub-locations. And these units have been devolved to the point that then we make it easy for wananchi to access services. But it also forms the basis for the government to also get the feeling from the ground, so that can also and is always escalated upwards. Over the years, we've had the challenge of a number of administrative units being created and not being operationalized. For example, we have administrative units across the country that were gazetted way back in 2017, 2018, which are yet to be operationalized. Since we came into government the last couple of months, there was additional administrative units that we were able to also gazette, but we have also progressively prioritized operationalization of the gazetted administrative units. One of the major impediments or challenge has been on issue around resources. And it's good that we're having this conversation at a time when the conversation or the discussion on the budget is happening. And as a ministry, one of the budget lines we have prioritized is the operationalization of these administrative units. In the case of Bungoma County, we have a total of 12 divisions yet to be operationalized and a few locations and sub-locations. But we have aligned them for quick operationalization. And we are looking at a situation that by the time we get to next year, we would have cleared the backlog so that then wananchi can benefit from the services that come through government units.
Apart from resources, what else maybe impedes the operationalization of these administrative units? Because we understand that maybe the smaller the administrative unit, the more effective the security apparatus.
I think one of the other impediments, which of course is not a problem in Bungoma or Western per se, but in other parts of the country, you find that there will always be contention on whether a particular administrative unit needs to be in place or not. There will always be contention on where the headquarters are. And those are basically largely community or what you'd call clan dynamics. But by and large, it is in the interest of the administration of President Ruto that services are as closer to the people as possible. You remember this administration came into office on account of the transformation. So the people at the base means so much, and the more they are empowered, the more they are able to access the services, the better it is for the growth of the country. Yeah.
Kenya and Uganda enjoy a mutual relationship. And Bungoma being on the border, we share a very long border with Uganda and Wahaha area. As the security docket, what are some of the measures you've put in place to ensure that there's actually security on the border? Because you understand that we may have goods and contraband goods really being sneaked to and from the neighboring country.
So, given the geographical positioning of Bungoma County and generally the fact that we border Uganda, and Uganda is a significant trading partner to Kenya, there is quite a lot of movement of goods and services. And one of the things that has happened, and I've mentioned this as part of the challenges with security, is the cross-border movement of goods where illicit goods move from Uganda to Kenya, and of course same. Now what we are doing is that we are operationalizing and setting up a number of border points. Now Wahaha is one of such border point, particularly for the movement of containers back to the port. But then there's also the Swam one-stop border post, which is almost complete. Now what this then would help us with is that we are able to facilitate trade and facilitate movement of people. That way then we don't give people more inclination to want to cut corners, because then when the processes are efficient and quicker and facilitative, then we cut down on those whatever would drive the need for people to want to illegally cross the borders. Now, at the same time, then we are also ensuring that these facilities, because when you're talking about a one-stop border post, then you literally have all the relevant agencies working in a coordinated manner so that then it facilitates. And there is also the public awareness and sensitization, which then also would improve the amount of trade and reduce what is considered to be illicit in terms of the movement and the trade that happens across. Yeah, the other ongoing discussions is that we are always having consultations from both sides of the Kenya and the Ugandan side, so that the Ugandans are able to do exactly what we are doing on the Kenyan side. Yes.
Bwana PS, you're talking about those security points on the border, but also we've had reports where illicit brew has been sneaked in and out of the country through those sort of a porous border. And there has been concerted effort and robust work against this illicit brew. In Western Kenya, according to statistics from NACADA is that the consumption is quite high, in as much as deaths are not really reported, but consumption is quite high. Maybe from your ministry, what are some of the measures and maybe the progress of the fight against illicit brew in Western Kenya?
So in the context of Western Kenya, is that we have a lot of illicit brew, just like it's happening in other parts of the country. The only difference is that we have not seen as many casualties or fatalities like in the case where we lost about 20 people in Kirinyaga County, largely because of the consumption of traditional brews, which in as much as they are illicit, are not as potent as the other forms of liquor that is being taken in the other parts of the country. But then still, having said that, it's still illicit, and we continue to do a crackdown just to be able to make sure that whatever people then get to consume is what is legit or legal. Just to put it into context, looking at just the numbers since we rolled out the crackdown, you are talking of over 10,000 liters of local brew that has been confiscated. And what we are doing, working together with NACADA and all the other agencies, is that we are looking at the legal regime in terms of the regulations, in terms of the licensing, particularly for manufacturers, in terms of licensing for those who are doing the distributorship, as well as those who are involved in the selling. So you will be seeing a lot of this being passed through Parliament that would help clean that environment. Then, of course, there's a conversation and engagement we are having with the county governments, because they have a major role to play, particularly in the licensing and the collection of revenue that comes out of the trade. And we have agreed that part of the proceeds must go into building capacity, creating awareness, but also in developing rehabilitation centers. And we're not just talking about alcohol. Of course, there's bang and all the other psychotropic substances. And beyond that, we have had a nationwide crackdown, particularly on the manufacturers of second-generation alcohol. Originally, when we set out to go and find out who is involved in the manufacture of second-generation alcohol, or alcohol generally, out of 69 that were on record, we were only able to get 29 who are operating. Of those 29, at the end of the first vetting exercise, only 2 were fit to operate. Now we are at the tail end of completing this exercise with the rest. As it is, another 8 are almost there. And the point then is that going forward, we'll have a robust mechanism to ensure that only those who meet the standards that are expected get involved into the business.
And in other news, a Nakuru surgeon, Dr. Magare Gikenyi, Busia Senator Okia Omutata, and 2 other petitioners have moved to court challenging the creation of